sign the budget with that $32 million cut.
Joining me this week on location here at the Capitol, Scott Bauer from the Associated Press. First off, thanks, Scott, as always, for the time. Wanted to talk to you about what happened with the UW system here. It was on the Budget Committee's schedule for the day on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. It appears that they had a plan in place, and that plan somehow got changed.
Yeah, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said before the meeting on Tuesday that they were going to cut UW's budget by $32 million, which he said was the amount that they intended to spend on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts at UW, which Speaker Vos opposes. He said during the day they were going to cut that amount. The governor reacted, UW reacted, and then that night the committee punted and didn't take it up. We don't know what happened there behind the scenes, but they're still trying to work that out.
After getting the shared revenue and the K-12 education, I mean, it's kind of one of the last few big sticking points of this budget, isn't it?
Yeah, we have UW out there. We have the tax cut is a big one that will most likely come on the last day that Joint Finance meets. And of course, Senate Republicans are pushing for a flat tax. Assembly Republicans don't want to go that far. We don't know where they're going to land, but it's safe to assume there's going to be some kind of substantial tax cut.
We also saw the voting this week on the shared revenue plan, which had to do with the shared revenue and with the K-12 education. Not really any surprises with the way the votes went. Obviously, we expected the Republicans to vote, but did you see anything that popped up this week? You're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, the most interesting thing there is that you had both Republicans and Democrats switching. So you had a bipartisan vote on shared revenue where you had Democrats joining Republicans. You also had Republicans joining Democrats in opposition. So you don't really see that very often. The K-12 bill was more of a party line type vote, but both bills are to the governor now. He helped negotiate the deals, and so he'll sign those really any day.
As part of this whole big negotiation, was the private voucher thing one of the biggest surprises that it somehow popped into these whole negotiations?
Yeah, it's really interesting because the governor, as the prior Secretary of Education, DPI here in Wisconsin, he was a huge opponent of expanding the voucher program. He ran for governor on that platform. And yet in this deal, he's got more money going to voucher schools to help reimburse them for the cost of taking these students. So a lot of Democrats were opposed to that. The state teachers union was not happy with that. A lot of longtime advocates of the governor had a problem with that concession, but the governor points out that he's getting over $1 billion for K-12 public schools, a lot of other gains that were part of the deal. It's part of the give and take that both sides say they're not getting exactly what they want, but they're getting, both sides have things that they're happy and not so happy about.
Does it feel like things are starting to happen quickly where maybe this budget could get done close to on time, which is July 1st?
Right. There's certainly shooting to be done by the end of June. We also have the American Family Field bill that's hanging out there that the Speaker promises will get done before the 4th of July. So there's a number of things yet to go, but we are making a lot of progress quickly here.
A lot of progress, but a lot still to talk about for you and I over the next couple of weeks. Scott Bauer, thanks so much for the time here.
You bet.
In Washington, Senator Tammy Baldwin recently announced another run for re-election. She discusses some of her focuses this time around and some bills that she proposed here this week.